Following Sheena's death, I was very suspicious of Joe.
You just lost your daughter, and you know that there was a domestic violence situation the night before. That's just one more thing that makes me suspicious.
We weren't certain if it was us keeping an eye on Joe or if it was Joe keeping an eye on us.
Friends and family were very, very suspicious of Joe's demeanor and how he was handling this for a man who just lost his fiancée.
A lot of people had noticed that Joe's demeanor was kind of casual and laid back, as if nothing had ever happened to Sheena.
We had all these people here in our home. Joe was telling my friends, oh, Sheena was just crazy that night. She's just crazy. When I heard about this, I was upset. We had 2 sets of services for her. One was in Tampa and one was in upstate New York. And people were so concerned that they just stayed at these services to watch him because they felt that he was acting like he was hosting a gala.
Joe being around Sheena at funeral services, text messaging over Sheena's body. He had his sunglasses on like he was heading to the beach. It stuck out to me like a sore thumb.
And I felt a lot of tension. People didn't want to stand next to me, including the immediate family. People were starting to blame me.
It just seemed like another day to him. I never saw any kind of grieving come out of Joe towards Sheena's death.
Well, it's been 3 years since Kelly and David have spoken to Joe, and you guys are here now together. Let me ask you, Joe, how you feel about being here today. You know that these 2 people think you had something to do with their daughter's death, either that she died at your hand or you had something to do with it. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I sit here and listen to all these lies, and I'm just in awe. Because I was devastated. And for them to say I had no emotion is just, I don't know how they can say these things. I fell to my knees when I found out. And I don't even know if I can do this. And I apologize, but we got in a fight that night and I left. And I just don't understand how they can say these things about me. I supported her. They were happy when I was with her. They said that they you know, I just don't understand how, and all of these things are lies. They're not true. And for them to say I wasn't affected is just, I can't even make sense of it.
How do you feel to be sitting across from the man that you believe in your hearts had something to do with killing your only child?
Well, it's awkward, but I wanted to talk to Joe for quite some time. You know, there's a lot of things that, that lack the answers. So I've wanted this for a long time. At the same point, there's always that nervousness about actually doing it, or will I get the truth? It's also very difficult that, you know, if he had nothing to do with this and all the pattern of conduct, you know, I'd have to say I'm truly sorry, but based upon a pattern of conduct and my investigation, I have to look at everything. I have to look at every piece of evidence.
I feel the same way as Kelly does. And, you know, like she says, the very first thing that we have to relate back to is Joe was the last person to see Sheena alive. And that's where we would like to start, and the pattern of conduct just doesn't fit. We have to start somewhere, and that's where we would like to start.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.